viewers to another episode on ASUG 12 exams. So in this episode we continue looking at the November 2022 Mathematics Paper 2. So in the last 9 episodes we covered 9 questions extensively. So this episode focuses on question 10. So question 10 reads, the table shows the heights of 10 plants measured in centimeters on a particular day. So we have the height in centimeters from a minimum of 0 all the way up to 17. Then we have frequencies that are associated with each a given interval. Then question A, calculate the standard deviation, and that carries 6 marks. Then B, answer this part of the question on a sheet of graph paper. Then using the table above, copy and complete the cumulative frequency table below. Then also we have Roman numeral 2, using a scale of 2 cm to represent 10 units on both axes for the interval x is greater or equal to 0 but less or equal to 70. Then of course we have y is greater or equal to 0 but less or equal to 100. Draw a smooth cumulative frequency curve. Then Roman numeral 3, showing your method clearly, use a graph to estimate the same interquartile range. So let us start with question A. So what we notice in this case, we need to find the standard deviation. So the formula for standard deviation is given to us on the second page of each mathematics paper 2. So the first thing that we need to do is to identify the type of data that we've been given. So if you notice in this case, basically we have frequencies falling in these intervals. So basically because we have intervals, then within that intervals there is a group of plants that are measuring for example between 10 and 20. So this could be 15.1, could be 16, could be 17. All these are falling in that interval. So that's a group of plants. So this data is known as group T data. Okay, that's what we need to know. So when you go to the second page of this paper, you notice that we have these formulae for statistics. Then let me just zoom in so that I'm able to explain a bit about this. So what we notice in this case, this is for group T data. Why group T data? This is even given to you because we have frequencies. So these frequencies and these frequencies are covering an interval. For example, 0 to 10. That's why we're saying x is greater or equal to 0 but less or equal to 10. So these are included. Then of course we have 10 to 20. These are groups of plants measuring within that range. That's the case. Then if you're given just individual data points, like for example 10, 11, 20, 35, like that, even 20 if it's appear twice like that, these are ungrouped data. Take note of that. Okay, so we are going to use this formula, but there are two options. We can go with this one or that one. This one is much more easier to use. So what you just need to do, you need to find the summation of the frequencies, which will always be given to you. You don't need to worry about that because it's given to you indirect there. Then you need to find basically the mean, which is basically given by a summation of the frequency multiplied by the middle value in this interval. For example, between 10 and 0 we have basically 5. So 5 is a number between 0 and 10. Then this is the value of x. Then divide by the sum of frequencies. Then you have this mean. Then next I find this one, which is basically now this middle value, square it and multiply by the frequencies. So let us go back to the question. So now I'm going to go to a new page, but before I go to the new page, let me just find the values of x. So the value of x here in this case is basically what you notice here is, for example, is 0 plus 10, you see 10 divided by 2, it will be 5. So this is the principle we are going to use. So let me just create space. Okay, so having created the space, now we found the middle value here, you see, basically, which is the value of x, you see, basically 5. Similarly here, it will be what? 10 plus 20, which is 30, divided by 2, it will be 15. Then similarly here, 20 plus 30, it will be 50 divided by 2, it will be basically 25. Then like that, you notice that they are increasing by an interval of 10. This is 10, 10. So this should be 45, this basically should be 55, then this should be 65, like that, as quick as that. Then once you know the value of x, there are two ways that you can approach this question. If you want, you can use a table, or if you want, you can just go with the formula. It depends on what you prefer. I prefer going with key things that I'm looking for. So for example, I'm looking for summation of f, the frequencies. So when you go to the main question here, you notice that we are told here how many, these are 100 plants. So the 100 plants are the summation of all these frequencies. It's also given here. Then you don't need to waste so much time. So this is basically 100. Then I need to look for a summation of frequencies multiplied by the value of x. So what is that? So basically it's this one multiplied by 5. So I'm going to frequency multiplied by 5. That's the case. Then plus, then to be now frequency 8 multiplied by now 15. Then plus, then to be 14 multiplied by 25. Then plus, then 22 multiplied by 35. Then plus 23 multiplied by 45. Then plus of course 22 multiplied by 55, then plus 65 multiplied by 8, like that. Why am I looking for that? Remember, we have that formula. Mean is equal to basically summation of frequency multiplied by x divided by summation of frequencies. Then we're going to find the mean. Once we know the mean, then basically we can find standard deviation. Remember, standard deviation is equal to basically summation of the frequencies, you square them, then over this that the sum of frequencies, then mean square, then you find the square root of that. That's basically the formula. So the first thing that we've done here is we are looking for this. That is what we are looking for in that one. Once we know that one, we're going to find the mean. Once we know the mean, the next we're going to find that, which is basically easier for us to do given what we've done so far. So what we do now is basically 3 multiplied by 5, it will be basically 15, then plus this one will give us basically 120, then plus the next one will give us basically 350, then 70, then plus 1035, then we're going to have 1210, then plus 520, then of course when we add these, we are going to end up with basically 4020. This will be the value. So having found this value, we can easily find the mean, which is the first step. So the mean therefore equals 4020 divided by 100. We are going to end up with 40.2. What are these? These are centimeters. That's basically how you proceed, because the height is in centimeters. Then next is for us to find the summation of this. That you can either use the same approach or you can use the table. You still get the same answer, just which one is much more easier for you. Then basically what we do now is we are looking for this f, then x square. So what we do is the same thing that we did here, except that now we are going to square the values of x. What are the values of x? These are the values of x. These, we square them now. That's what this summation f of x square implies. So that's what we need to do. So let us go to the new page. So we're going to start with basically we are doing 3 multiplied by 5, we square the 5, then plus 8 multiplied by 15, we square the 15, then plus 14 multiplied by 25, we square, then plus 22 multiplied by 35, we square it, then plus 23 multiplied by 45, we square 45, then plus then 22 multiplied by 55, we square that, then plus 8 multiplied by 65 square. Once we do that, we can start adding this. What you notice here in this case, we get basically 3 multiplied by 25, then plus 8 multiplied by 225, then plus 14 multiplied by 625, which are now the product of the squares. Then plus we have 22 multiplied by 12 25, then plus we have 23 multiplied by basically 20 25, then plus we have 22 multiplied by 30 25, then plus 8 multiplied by 42 25, which is these squares. So it's these squares, the one that we are done. So once we use our calculators, basically what we are going to have is basically 184,500 as the value. So once we find this value, we discover that finding the standard deviation now becomes very easier. So we know that the standard deviation is given by this summation of fx square divided by summation of frequencies, then minus the mean square. So we've just found this value to be basically 184,500. Then we divide it by the sum of frequencies, which is 100 divided by 40.2 square. Then at this point we just utilize our calculator. We are going to end up with basically the square root of 228.96. When we find the square root of this one, we're going to end up with 15.13142. Then to three significant figures, then standard deviation is equal to basically 15.1 as our answer. So basically this is how you answer part A to get that 6 marks. So basically just to emphasize that the choice is yours. You can choose to go with this method that I've used, where you only focus on the things that are required, or you can go with the table. So if you decided to go with the table would look like that. So what you notice here is we have this 100, which is just a summation of all frequencies. Then we have basically the product of the frequencies and the value of x, and the value of x is the middle value, so it will be 0 plus 10 divided by 2, which is 5. Then you multiply by 3, you get this 15. Then you end up with this, which is 4020 or 4020. Then you do the same, you square the x's, then you're going to have this 25. This 25 you multiply by the frequency, you're going to get, for example, 75. Then you sum all these, you're going to end up with this number that we just found, which is 184,500. And this is the same number that we used previously to find the standard deviation. These are numbers, which is this one and this, then you still get the same answer. So basically this is how you answer this question to get the optimal marks. So let us move now to question B. So part B, basically we are expected to complete the frequency table below. Then after we do that, then we can plot this one on the graph paper. So what is happening in this case for us, when you're asked to complete the frequency table, what will happen is this one is basically 0 plus 3. We are getting basically this 3. So the values that are below 0, there is none. That's why we have a 0 here. So 0 plus 3, we are getting basically that 3. So you see basically this plus the 0 is that 3. Next it will be 8 plus this 3. You're getting 11. Then next is basically this one plus this one plus this one. So it will be now basically the one that we found here 11, we add with 14. We are going to end up with 25. So 25 now plus what is the previous value is now this one in this interval, those values that are below 40. So everything that is below 40 is 3, 8, 14, then including 22. So when you add those, it will just be 22 plus 25, which will be 47. Then similarly, those values that are less or equal to 50, starting from here, you add all these. So you are going to just basically is 23 plus 47, which is basically 70. Then next, all those values that are below or equal to 60 is starting from here going in this direction. So it will be 22 plus the one that we just from finding, which is 70. So it will be 22 plus 70, it will give us 92. So this 92 is basically the values that we are going to get. So let me just use the same color. So we are going to have basically 70, then 92 here. Then once you have that, it's easier for you to now get the remaining 5 marks. So this is basically 1 mark. So let me just go to the next page where we have the graph paper. Then we can graph these information to answer Roman numeral 2. Okay, so we have the graph paper, which is well labeled. Remember, the instruction is we have 2 centimeters to represent 10 units. So 10 units is basically represented by 2 centimeters. So 2 centimeters is this interval. So this is the 2 centimeter on the standard graph paper. So that's what we have is you notice that on the x-axis we are increasing by the interval of 10, which is 10 units, and this is clearly labeled as height. Then this is the frequency. Once you have that, basically you are good to go. So just start now plotting these values. So the first value is 0, 0. So there is nothing that is less than 0. So you start from here. Then if this 0 is not there, you don't start from 0. Remember that. Then we have basically those that are less or equal to 10. How many are they? There are 3. So you go on the height, which is 10. Then how many are less or equal to 10? There are 3. So you come and then basically count how many. 1, 2, 3. So it will be here. This is the first point at that. Then next, those that are below or equal to 20, they are 11. So you go to 11 just above 10, which is this point. Then those that are measuring below or equal to 30, there are 25 plants. So you come and look for 25. 25 is halfway here, which is 30, 25. Then next it will be those plants that are measuring 40 or less, there are 47. So you come along the 40 and look for where 47 is. So 47 is just 3 points below 50, which is this point. Then next it will be below or equal to 15, there will be 70. So you're going to look for 70, which is that point. Then below or equal to 60, 92. So you come and at 92, which is basically somewhere here. So lastly, those plants that are 70 or less, they are 100. So you come along 70 and at this point, this will be the case. So once you do that, basically you're going to join these using a smooth line, using your pencil as much as possible. So let me use a different color. I'm going to use the black one. So you join them. So once you do that, basically you use a smooth pencil to join these points to make a smooth line, which are as smooth as possible. So it will be basically like that. Then once you do that, you get these 3 marks. Then it will make some kind of an S shape. So you see, this is looks like an S shape kind of, but using your pencil, you are going to be very smooth, and your graph will look much more better than mine. Then you go to a Roman numeral 3, showing your method clearly. Use your graph to estimate the semi-interquartile range. So semi-interquartile range is basically given by this is Roman numeral 3 is given by basically it says semi-interquartile range is given by half of the interquartile range, which is basically Q3 value minus Q1 value. So what you do is, remember Q3 is the 75th percentile, then Q1 is 25th percentile. So since there are 100 plants, what this tells us basically each plant represent 1 percentile. So 1 percentile is the same as 1%, except that they are standardized. So you're going to look for which is basically 25% multiplied by 100, you are going to get 25. So you are going to look for where the number of plants are 25, so it will be basically at halfway of basically 20 and 30. Then this from here you are going to join these points, then come here and come down here and read the value. So this value, which will be now q1, so this will be the value for q1, the quartile 1, leading from here. So this will be basically 25th percentile. Then you do the same for the third quartile, which is 75. So again it will just be basically 75%, which is multiplied by 100 plants. If there were 80, you put 80, you're going to find that value. So in this case it will just be 75. So if it was 80, it was going to give you about 60. Then we'll go into 60, but now because 100, we are going to look at this 75. Then you are going to put a ruler here and draw a straight line here that you come and cut at this point. Then once it does that, basically you are going to go down and lead that value. So that value will come in this line, down, 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 down. You find this value to be basically nothing but 52. So this value is the Q3. So once you do that, you substitute here, so it will be basically half multiplied by 52 that we found minus 30. Then we are going to have basically half multiplied by 22, which will give us basically 11. So 11 is the semi-interquartile range. Once you do that, basically you would have answered the question 10 in full and you would get the optimal marks. So the choice is yours, whether you go with the table or you go with the approach that I've used. As long as you show you're working clearly, no one can penalize you. So thank you very much for joining me in this episode. Please join me in the next episode, which will cover question 11. Thank you viewers for watching this episode. If you find this video to be very helpful, please consider liking, sharing, and if you are new to this channel, subscribe to our channel. Once you go to our channel, we'll discover that we've got so much content for you. You'll notice that we've got mathematics, physics, and chemistry. We've also got a section that is arranged by topics. You could be finding challenges with a specific topic. This is the best section for you.